A very warm welcome. I'm Akanksha Swaroop. Now, today I'm joined by a distinguished personality from the UK, and that's Professor Yukteswar Kumar, who's been the Deputy Mayor of Bath. He was the first person of Indian heritage to be elected to Bath and North East Somerset Council. In July, Mr. Kumar joined the Conservative group. He joins me today to talk about Rishi Sunak's historic appointment and what it means not just for Britain, but India too. Many thanks to you, Professor Kumar, for joining us today here at CNN News 18. Now, I know Sunak has underlined the Herculean hurdles being faced by the UK's economy, from a post-COVID economy to the impact of Russia-Ukraine war on rising energy prices. What, in your view, are the top challenges for the new Prime Minister?
Well, there is no gainsaying of the fact that there are many challenges ahead. Rishi himself had said multiple times, and even in the House of Commons, and in his first speech of just 2 minutes, he acknowledged it and said there are profound, he repeated the word, profound economic challenges. But he has a colorful professional career. Is the best educated and talented person at the moment to lead Britain from navigating through these challenges, these economic challenges, financial problems, and you have seen the result within 2 days. Just when Liz Truss, the former Prime Minister, and her Chancellor, who is also very highly educated, mind you, he got King's Scholarship to go to Eton College. He then gets Newcastle Award in 1992. I'm talking about Kwanski, the former Chancellor. He was very educated. He won in 1992 BBC University Challenge, which is like World Cup for intellectuals, on his own. But he had no training in finance. Economics is different than politics. And Rishi had, obviously, he was educated at Oxford, in the US, and he worked there for many, many years as a hedge fund manager. And the most important thing was that in 2020, before becoming the Chancellor of the United Kingdom, he was also the Minister for Local Governance. So he understands local governance, politics, economic challenges. And as I said, see the result just now. Pound is today 1.16 almost against US dollar. Just 3 weeks ago, it was almost having a parity with the US dollar. Pound, 1 pound against Chinese renminbi is 1.38. Just 3 weeks ago, it was 7.57. I mean, for 1 pound, increase of almost 1 renminbi. So you see FTSE, you see the markets. So obviously he knows it.
All right, as far as race being an issue for Rishi Sunak, I'll say Britain's moment of truth arrived when British radio was confronted with a racist caller who not only compared Sunak with Al-Qaeda, but also went on to say that Sunak doesn't love Britain as Boris Johnson does. Would it be fair to say that race has not been a factor for Rishi Sunak, as many in England, especially British media, are currently claiming?
Very true. I also heard, and I was listening live, the LBC radio interview, when a person, if I remember correctly, his name was Zilla, and he says that his father was the chairman of the Conservative Party. And he basically, in my opinion, as the LBC presenter herself, the lady herself, called him, "You are basically racist." There is no, again, saying of the fact that there are a couple of nefarious elements. There are a couple of people who will go and attack people like me, people of color. To be honest, I am fighting a case against racism in British Crown Court. I was myself told in 2013 when I was helping people saying, don't make Bath. Bath is the only UNESCO heritage city in the UK and only 4 in the whole world. I won't go and talk about my city, of which I had the privilege of being the deputy mayor. But I was told before that, go back to your country, Brexit has happened. They said, don't make Bath a city like Leicester or Birmingham, where people like you and Chinese people, they have basically colonized. So I was myself abused on 29th January 2019. I was hugely abused on the street by a lady on the cycle. I made a police complaint. I have not been able to find her again. Otherwise, I could have taken her to the court as well. So, of course, if anybody says that there are not racist people in the world, but again, I will say these kind of nefarious people, bad elements, they are there in almost every country and every society. But thankfully, they are in minority. People, the mainstream residents, voters, they do not like them. So there will be a couple of fringe element, in my opinion, and they may not like a person of color, despite being the most talented, most capable person. But they need to understand that we are all today global citizens as our own Guru Rabindranath Tagore, the first Asian Nobel laureate, said. So people need to understand the issue of globalization and internationalization. We're not, we might have be carrying a passport of one particular country, but in my opinion, we are all global citizens today. It is very easy compared to just 200 years ago. Even I said that even the queen and kings, they didn't had the facility to use toilets, for example. But today the globe has become.
Professor Kumar, like a Barack Obama, who gave much importance to his African American identity, do you see Rishi Sunak doing the same for India? Or would he be focused on being a tough Tory?
Well, as I say, let us not try to pigeonhole different ethnic minority groups or communities from different background into different identity boxes. I might be born in India. You might be born in India. Rishi Sunak was born in the UK. How does that matter? What matters today is the talent, the capability. And you talked about Barack Obama. Have we ever seen any best or any good orator in the contemporary times and capable person than Barack Obama? Really? I mean, I know some people, I go to the British Parliament and meet with the parliamentarians and lords, like Lord Uli. He is a good speaker. But only a good orator does not matter. I might be a good orator, but capabilities. So he might be born in south of England, Southampton, to be honest, but he is completely dedicated to this country and anybody and to the world. You see, even this morning, because I work on China, I speak Chinese like a Chinese person. I can speak everything and give you this interview in Chinese. Li Keqiang, the Chinese prime minister currently, whose tenure will be over in March, even he congratulated him, and Rishi understand that he is a prime minister of a G7 country. He is a prime minister of a country who is a member of the United Nations Security Council. So he has to work for global peace. He has to work for the benefit of both the countries. India-UK trade is about 19 billion US dollars. There is, yes.
Also, I know the UK has stated that they are keen to clinch the FTA deal with India, which is a ray of hope, especially after Suella Braverman's recent comments. We also know that both the prime ministers from UK and India have just gone on a telephone conversation. Will Rishi Sunak be able to iron out the creases which have largely been on issues pertaining to automobiles, liquor tariffs, and even mobility of professionals and students?
In one word, yes. Because as our own, the Indian Prime Minister Modi said, that Rishi Sunak is a live bridge between India and UK. And the connections, the interface between these two nations go from many, many years ago. I mean, we all know, I don't want to talk about the colonial history, but there has been relationship. And the bilateral trade, as you say, FTA agreement, it will be done. I'm 100% sure because of Rishi's connections with India. He might not have been born in India, he might not be educated in India, but he understands India very well because of his own family. His wife was born in India. His father-in-law is a billionaire, one of the richest person in the country who knows. And they are billionaire not because they were born as a billionaire or millionaire. They worked hard. So Rishi understands, he understands that there is a trade between the two nations of only less than 20 billion US dollars. In case of India and China, despite having so much of problem, the trade is about 100 billion US dollars. In fact, last year it went up 110 billion US dollars. And the Indians, the preferred choice for education is the UK today, not even the USA, to be honest. Why? I tell you, a master program in the UK is 1 year. The American universities, they charge so much. And master program is 1 year. It is just 8 hours flight. The English, obviously, even in the USA, but it's so far from India to some extent. And some of the times, I mean, obviously, the relations are improving between India and the USA as well. And I, being a global citizen, I admire and appreciate, and I hope that relations with all the countries go up only. But with Britain, certainly, the FTA, there is huge opportunity now. And even Boris Johnson, he visited India very not very recently, didn't he? And he was welcomed. So British prime ministers are highly welcomed in India, and Rishi Sunak will have a special relationship with Prime Minister Modi.
All right, speaking of Suella Braverman, how do you assess Rishi Sunak's move of bringing Suella Braverman back, that too a week after quitting, something for which he has also been attacked by Keir Starmer, the Labour Party chief?
Yeah, as I said, Rishi Sunak, I mean, there were some eyebrows being raised by many in the party because I am a member of the party. And I'm the only councillor candidate from Conservative Party of this city today. So obviously, quite a lot of people were not very happy. But I think people do make mistake. Everybody who says I have never made a mistake is lying. And Suella is a very capable politician. Although she might not be liked, but just this Thursday in a by-election for councillors election, a person was elected from Conservative Party, defeating Lib Dems by 25 votes, only 25 votes. But who votes Conservatives in these kind of difficult times? But Suela's constituency, a person winning. So obviously, she might have a problem a bit with immigration, and one of the statements that Indians overstaying, and that was really not helpful. And so should have been a bit careful in the choice of the words. Yes.
And before I let you go, Professor Kumar, what would you like to say to the naysayers of Rishi Sunak who are certain that he will leave the economy in a hole? Many even speculating that the future of the Tory government is only a matter of time.
Rishi Sunak believes in winning for himself rather than defeating others. Rishi Sunak is a politician, yes, but he is a very good economist. He does not only work for winning elections, but he works for making the future of next generation much better. He knows the challenges. Of course, the opposition party, including the Labour leader, he would attack him and the Guardian would attack him. That's their role. Is that it? We are a democratic country like India. The opposition's role, rightly, is to attack the government, but they should be sensible and not make wild assumptions. There is not going to be any election till late 2024, maybe May or June, May of the 7th, 2024. So almost 2 years. And he himself, Rishi Sunak, is capable of unity or uniting the party members. So he himself said very clearly, unite or die. So party is rallying behind him. And being a member of the party, I can tell you, we have full support. And I mean, I'm a small face, but I can see the chairman of the various conservative associations, and I'm member of many groups on WhatsApp, and we are reading. So I can tell you that there is huge support for him.
All right, and with that, our conversation comes to an end. Many thanks to you, Professor, for giving us your precious time.